What's up, everybody? We're back with some more Wuthering Waves. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Hero of the Leap quest from Dashbon, I believe his name is. This character introduces you to several different movement mechanics that are a little bit complicated and they ramp up in difficulty. A friend of mine recommended to make a video, so let's get into it. This is where the quest is on the map. You can easily access it by traveling to this residence beacon by the pharmacy. Make your way over to Dashbon and talk to him. He's going to give you the quest, and then it'll show up in your quest log, just like this. You're going to want to track that quest and go ahead and make your way over to the start that's marked on your map. And once you're here, you'll see your objective marked in the distance. Go ahead and take out your sensor. It'll mark the best route. Stick to these right awnings, just like the path is suggesting, collecting all these little orbs. If you miss a few, that's okay. It's not that big of a deal. They don't actually do anything as far as I'm aware. Feel free to correct me in the comments. Just stick to these right awnings. This part is pretty straightforward. The glider gives you a lot of leeway and you have plenty of stamina to run up these buildings. Be careful here, as this little roof can be tricky if you don't jump before you get there. If you want to jump forward in air, hold left shift and W at the same time. It'll give your character a little boost forward. Path gets a little tricky here as it splits to the left. Make sure you have enough distance to clear that without falling off. Last part of the first challenge is just to grapple to the end and then you're done. Next part of the challenge is in a different area of the city. It's on the outer ring surrounding Jinsho. You'll see it here on the map. It's not too far from the trainer. Go ahead and start the challenge. It's pretty straightforward here. All you really want to do is take out your sensor. That's what the game says to do. It's part of the objectives. It helps. It does help. It lights the way for you. Even though it's a little obvious for these lower difficulty challenges, it gets a little tricky when they give you a little more freedom. The orange path marks the way. Just go ahead and grapple across this bridge here. This part's a little tricky. You just gotta glide across. Not a big deal. Remember what we learned earlier? These movement texts are going to be really handy for completing this challenge. Now, I got a little confused here, but it's not a big deal. Just grapple across, climb your way up. Again, just keep following the line. It'll bring you out to the edge of this building here. Once you get there, turn your camera up. There's a grapple point. And there's a little bit of a tricky jump here with these lampposts. As you can see, if you miss it, you're going to go for a splash, so be careful. Again, a lot of distance is covered on this challenge, but it's mostly just the grapples, so be on the lookout for those points, like right there. See, I didn't choose to use it, but you can, obviously, if you want to. Just gonna go ahead and grapple your way up the stairs here, and then grapple across into the right, and you'll be done. This challenge is pretty straightforward, honestly. Following the line, and just staying on the rooftops and on the awnings is pretty much all you have to do. So, look on the map here. We're gonna have to travel again to get to the next part of this challenge. It's at the south of the city. I'd recommend teleporting to the residence beacon on the top of the mountain here. You're gonna go for a little plunge, but once you make your way down, go over to this big tower here, take out your sensor and mark the map forward, and you'll be good to go. Again, this is a pretty straightforward route. There's not too much going on here that's too complicated. You'll see in a second, there's a little bit of nuance to it. Again, a lot of grappling here. Just grapple your way across this bridge here until you get to the little walkway here. Once you get to this walkway, you're going to walk forward until this guard post, I believe that's what that is, tower, something like that. You're going to have to climb on this. Now, this is a really tricky climb. I'm sure there's a way to do this for players who are better than I am, but yeah, I had some issues. It's not so straightforward. Eventually, I managed to climb my way up here. It was a little frustrating, so, you know, try to do your best here. It's more grappling after that, though. It's pretty straightforward. Just make sure you have your grapple cooldown up when you're floating through the air so you don't plummet onto the concrete or take a splash in the water. Keep making your way across here. You'll see the route is pretty much predefined with these little collectibles. Scale up this building, down this wall, and over the awning. This is a little bit of a tricky jump, but I think you'll be okay. Again, just be confident going up here. There's a grapple point here that you can use, which if you don't, you're gonna have a really hard time getting onto that roof. Another grapple point here. They're kind of quick. I'm going a little fast, but you know, you can slow down, pause the video if you need to. This center marble pillar here marks the end of the third challenge. Now, this is the beginning of the extreme difficulty challenge, or whatever they call it, enhanced difficulty. This part is a little complicated. There's a lot of nuance to it with the movement mechanics, and there's a couple of different ways that you can actually complete this challenge. I'm going to show you the way that I used. So go ahead and stick to these right awnings here. Just keep making your way across. Remember to give yourself that little boost by dashing forward in the air. That's going to be a really important movement tech. You can walk on the railings, or you can just hop and glide through the air. Remember, the glider is your best friend here. Now, for this part, it's a little complicated. You're going to want to jump, grapple, and dash forward with a glide at the end, just to be able to clear that major gap here. Now, once you're on this part, again, just like we did before, land on the center pillar. And then you're going to want to do the same thing again. Jump, grapple, dash forward. Then you'll be on the last awning here. This part is really straightforward. It's pretty hard to mess this up. Jump, dash, glide, and grapple. It's a little bit of a timing thing. I barely made it, but, you know, there's different ways to be able to complete this. This is, again, just one of the ways to complete this challenge, but hope you guys enjoyed. That is the completion of the quest line, and you'll be able to enjoy your rewards. I believe it's just Union XP. It's just sort of like a completionist thing, but, again, thanks for watching, and I hope this helped. Like and share.